like my associations with Russia or whatever. Like, I've never been to Russia. I've never met Putin. I don't know what exactly they were talking about. And NBC News came out with this hit piece literally as I was walking up on the stage to deliver my speech. And it was a hit piece that planted the seeds for this, oh, there are some suspicious or potential nefarious associations with Russia or whatever it was. But that's what the article was about. They bumped.
Gabbard sits down with an interview with Dr. Phil, and she talks with Dr. Phil about what made her leave the left. And Tulsi Gabbard goes to say that things changed drastically when Trump ran for president, and Tulsi Gabbard could basically see the hate in the party that Tulsi Gabbard talked about, and the lies that they told her, and about the whole Russia collusion that Tulsi Gabbard was never a part of. And Tulsi Gabbard said it was so bad that people in her district really believed those lies to the point where one lady almost cried, saying to Tulsi Gabbard, "I can't believe you work with Russia," and among other things. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this Tulsi Gabbard interview on Dr. Phil Primetime.
How did that happen? What was the change agent? What pushed it off of what it was when you were enthralled with it, when you said, "This is my home"? What pushed it off of that?
Like, point where I saw and felt a major shift was when President Trump ran for office in 2016. I think it was already kind of starting to move in that direction. Like I said, with President Obama, it was 2013 at that time. They weren't interested in having Democrats who disagreed with the president, which was problematic in and of itself. And we saw the same under Republicans under President Bush, that they wouldn't go against their president, even if they knew that his policy was wrong. We don't want blind followers of any political party. But the shift in President Trump's election was very significant, where all of a sudden, if any member disagreed with the Democrat Party, you were told, well, if you don't go along with us, then you're supporting Trump, you're supporting this dictator, they said, this fascist, and all of the names that they threw out there. They threw out the Russia hoax. There were all of these different tactics that they were using to try to force this total compliance, really through fear-mongering.
And this Russia thing, that splashed up on you.
Yes, it did.
Where did that come from?
It came from this, I was going to say it came from Hillary Clinton. She was certainly the most high-profile person to push it. But really, when you look now over time, it's something that comes from their tried and true playbook, where anyone, because it's Donald Trump, it's Bobby Kennedy, it's me, it's, even Elon Musk, they're trotting it out right now in this election. They did it with the Hunter Biden laptop. It is the excuse that they use to try to discredit a person or information that they don't want voters to hear from or to see or be exposed to.
That's pretty interesting, because there were a couple of times where I did vote for Tulsi Gabbard, and all because of the fact that I thought that Tulsi Gabbard was the one who said it. There's something really wrong with this party and everything. This particular Democrat party, stuff like that. The Democrat party wasn't what it was like years ago when she first became a Democrat. And Tulsi Gabbard actually also shared how, one thing that the left has done in the Democratic Party is that they accuse her of basically like mingling with Russia and everything, and that she's being paid off by Russia and everything, that she's colluding with Russia. And Tulsi Gabbard never did such a thing. And the fact of the matter is, this is all done because Tulsi Gabbard exposed the left, especially in the debates and stuff. You all remember when she exposed Kamala Harris's record as a DA and everything. And the fact of the matter is that, Tulsi Gabbard, as she's telling Dr. Phil right now, that basically enough was enough. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't surprised when she became a Republican and when she decided to announce it, but it's like the fact of the matter is, my question is, will she actually run for office? Will Tulsi Gabbard run for, Congress again, or is she done and this is it? And she's just going to, stay a former elected official for the rest of her life? Time will tell. I mean, you never know. She could one day run for president one day. So, yeah, let's go ahead and continue with this interview. And before we continue, please be sure to smash the like button on this video, share this video, follow across social media, and subscribe to the channel. And that way, you'll be notified of future uploads and updates.
And they came after you hard. They were coming, spy, this, that. What was your reaction when you realized there's a campaign here to paint me with this brush?
Yeah. I had heard this stuff before. What surprised me was the day that I announced my candidacy for president. That week leading up to it, we had heard from NBC News. They were asking some questions about like my associations with Russia or whatever. Like, I've never been to Russia. I've never met Putin. I don't know what exactly they were talking about. And NBC News came out with this hit piece literally as I was walking up on the stage to deliver my speech. And it was a hit piece that planted the seeds for this, oh, there are some suspicious or potential nefarious associations with Russia or whatever it was. But that's what the article was about. They bumped it up so that it was released on the date. And that's kind of what showed the hand of, okay, well, this is, you know, the legacy propaganda media of NBC is in on it. And then it started coming from a lot of different directions. And then Hillary Clinton brought it in. And it's so insane on its face because none of them asked Hillary Clinton for evidence or proof. And the thing that bothered me the most was that people believed this.
And that's really unfortunate because just because a news organization that's been around for a long time is in the mainstream doesn't mean that they're actually credible. I mean, like right when, you know, Hillary Clinton has started, you know, when she lost the 2016 election, that's when everyone started saying that it's a lot of Russia collusion and everything. And then anyone who speaks out against anybody in the Democrat Party or the narrative, they're just all of a sudden colluding with Russia and Russia. They even tried to get Trump with that, only to find out when Mueller concluded his report, he reported that Trump was never colluding with Russia or Putin. And the fact of the matter is, Tulsi Gabbard here is actually explaining here further how the Democrats are also using media to put out the narrative as well as get people to think a certain way. And right about now, a lot of people have caught attention to what the media has been doing. And I've seen what the media's been doing ever since 2012 and stuff. And the fact of the matter is that now more people, especially those in the black community, are seeing what the media is all about, and that's what leading them to Trump. So Tulsi Gabbard is exactly, you know, on point with all of this about Russia collusion.
And not a single one of them said like, oh, okay, well, you know, I'm still serving in the military today. I've been in for over 21 years. Not a single one of them said, hey, this is a member of Congress on the Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committee who has access to the highest level of security briefings, who still wears the uniform and is serving our country. Hillary Clinton, how can you call this person an asset of Russia or a puppet of Russia? Where's your proof? Because if you got proof, you better show it, because if that's true, then I shouldn't have access to any of this stuff.
Well, no.
It never, ever happened. I know why, but the problem was, and I had numerous interactions with voters as I was running for president who believed her. And they were so like great Americans who believed her. And when they met me, were so deeply troubled and concerned by this. This one woman in South Carolina, I remember very clearly, she's a local county chair of this very small rural Democrat party. We had like a town hall and a little barbecue shack in the middle of nowhere. And she came up to me with her eyes welled up with tears, and she put her hands on my shoulders and told me how troubled she was to hear this. And she looked into my eyes. She said, Tulsi, are you working for Russia? And it just broke my heart to see the effect of their propaganda and how damaging it is, I mean, really to our democracy. That instead of us having a conversation of her saying, hey, let's talk about your policy on healthcare. Let's talk about your policy and position on education. They plant these seeds in order to make it so that people are suspicious. And
this is also crazy, and I'm sorry to cut it off at this point. Well, stop the video at this point, I mean. But the fact of the matter is, like I said, the Democrats have been using the media for years to go ahead and put a narrative right there against a certain party of people, certain people, and stuff. And Tulsi Gabbard, when she started speaking out against the Democrat Party, she started going through a lot of mess. I mean, they kept coming after Tulsi Gabbard with all these accusations to the point where even her constituents and supporters would come out and then be suspicious about it. And like she said, no one asked her for proof or any evidence for that. They didn't ask Hillary Clinton for any evidence of her colluding with Russia. And it's crazy because of the fact that whenever they love those accusations against anybody who speak out against them, they won't prove it with any circumstantial evidence or anything, not even logic. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that this is also, I used to be a Democrat myself. I left the Democrat Party for many reasons, and this is one of them. The fact of the matter is, it's like even people far to the left are calling Democrats, the very people that they speak out against and stuff. So, yeah.
You know, I gave her a hug and I told her I'm willing to give my life for my country, this country. The problem was I couldn't have that face-to-face conversation and that hug with every single person
Right.
who had heard Hillary Clinton's lies.
You're a lieutenant colonel.
Yeah, I'm a lieutenant colonel and a battalion commander in the Army Reserve.
And did they ever come to you and say, we need to do some kind of investigation or some?
Never.
They never said anything.
Never. And even most recently, in kind of one of the latest acts of political retaliation under the Harris-Biden administration, the very next day after I criticized Kamala Harris in a live TV interview and warned the American people, as I did back in 2019 when she was running for president, I warned the American people about how dangerous she would be as commander-in-chief, about how she would try to mask her insecurity and her weakness and try to appear strong as a commander-in-chief and prove her strength by using our military to accomplish that. And needless.
And right then and there, that's when we see now that everything that's happening with Kamala is what she's been saying all along.
Putting people's lives at risk. The very next day after I did that interview, they added me to this secret domestic terror watch list called Quiet Skies. And I was going through in-depth screening day after day after day. Every time I flew, it would take me an hour to get through TSA. I get the quad S on my boarding pass, couldn't check in online. It was like the full thing. And I just thought like, okay, something's going on here because this is not a random selection.
Yeah,
every day.
Tulsi Gabbard was definitely targeted. Okay, definitely targeted when she kept speaking out against the Democrat Party, the left, and everything for how dangerous the party is, as well as the commander-in-chief and the vice president herself. And the fact of the matter is, if we continue down this path with Kamala being president, then there's going to be much more trouble ahead. They even stated right now that there's boots on the ground in certain places in the U.S. where they're trying to prepare for any kind of, mass hysteria if Trump doesn't win the office. Okay, but the fact of the matter is we got to go ahead and keep pushing this stuff. If you don't want to vote for Trump or you want to vote for Trump, that's all fine. Okay, but the fact of the matter is don't condemn somebody based on even if they don't agree with you politically. Okay, because that's just going to make you even far worse than you think you are. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you may have this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I said in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share this video far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, enjoyed all the content that I put there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.